In the sky for thousands of years stood two major things, the sun and the moon. Every cave painting or photograph you may find around the world would show the same theory. For so long, there was only one moon. Or that was what your brain thinks. I don't know why, but I am the only one that recalls in the sky a second moon on the opposite side of the beautiful sky. It was a light orange hue, looking just like it's a friend across the sky, but much smoother with less craters. I was 10 in 1969. I was watching my TV inside my home with my dad, mom, and two brothers. We watched as the spaceship landed on the first white moon. Neil Armstrong walks off and speaks the first part of the line, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." That is what you know, but on my side it's different. Afterward, he looked over at the orange moon and spoke. "We step on this moon, and soon we will step on the next." After about 10 seconds, he stepped back onto the ship. The screen went black for a little bit with a low humming and cut back to another launch pad. The ship would start to erupt into the sky with the smoke blasting from the engine as my family watched in awe, just as we did with the first ship. Everything was the same, and they entered the second moon all the same. The man who walked off was named John. His last name was never disclosed. He walked off onto the orange rock. He looked upon the earth and spoke, "Humanity has changed. I stand on the moon, but I also stand for the world." John just stood on the orange moon and looked at the earth. You could tell he was having the best day of his life. And all of a sudden, a black figure started emerging from afar. John spoke on his radio. Harold, something's approaching." The man on the ship sounded worried. That's not possible. There is no atmosphere here. Nothing can stand here without technology." The shadow kept moving and stopped at about 30 feet away. John screamed into his radio, "Harold, we have to get out. Initiate launch sequence, quick." He quickly stumbled on the ship and shut the door as fast as possible. The camera didn't shut off yet. The shadow just kept on standing there. Harold yelled in the radio. You couldn't see in the ship, but you can hear the radios inside. "John, help me up here. The control panel is not working." The shadow was humanoid, just standing there with its arms hovering by its side. The shadow started slowly walking towards the camera. After a moment of anticipation of complete silence in the household, the shadow made it to the camera. We expected some sort of face or body, but it was just a fully black figure. It put its hands over the camera and the footage was cut. I was shocked, and my family was shocked. It was completely silent. No one spoke. After a moment, a white screen came up with a text saying, "We are sorry for the interruptions." Suddenly, all of the radios, TVs, or any electric device with an audio port started playing high-pitched frequencies. Everyone in the family was still wide-eyed looking at the TV. I turned to my family and said, "Mom? Dad?" They were just sitting there, not responding, not even flinching. The screeching stopped after a minute. I spoke to my parents. "Mom, what were you doing?" Now all of them were suddenly smiling and looking at awe at the TV. I looked back and saw Neil Armstrong walking off the ship intact. I was shocked for hours, and my family thought I was pulling their leg. At 8 p.m., I ran outside, looked up trying to find the moons, and there was only one.